Hey there, lovely peoples. I'm starting this a little early. I wanted to just show you this. These have no lye in them. This is a third. It doesn't look like it, but it is. It's a third each of the mixture, my normal mixture. I'm recreating that soap there, but I was really disappointed in that because, as usual, I didn't use the shaper tools correctly because I'm an impatient cow. So this time I'm going, because I've wanted to do it for a long time, but I've really had no reason to do it. My wholesale customer has requested this fragrance, this actual soap. So I'm just getting the fragrance out while I'm talking to you. Yeah, because she's requested it, I figured I'm going to do it properly this time and have measured out all my soaps. All my soaps, no, I haven't measured any soap at all. I've measured out the oils, and these all have everything in them except for the lye. And I've even included the colours because I wanted to have that mixed and ready to go. This one should go a little bit lighter because it has titanium dioxide in it, and it'll react with the lye. So I'm pretty sure that'll go lighter. The other two should stay relatively the same. The other thing I wanted to show you too is there was a conversation about this in the Australian Soap Makers group on Facebook the other day, and it comes up a lot. And people, the reason that they soap so hot is because they think they have to. You don't have to soap hot unless you're using, you know, a fairly good amount of like beeswax, or unless you use, basically beeswax is pretty much like it doesn't. Making soap is an exothermic reaction. If you've been around here, you've heard me say this multiple times, and I think the majority of you actually know what that means. The literal second you put the lye in here, it begins to heat. So this, because this has goat's milk in it, and because it has hard oils in it, which is, I have tallow, coconut and palm in here, right? And then I also have soft oils, but I have more hard oils than soft oils. So you throw in some goat's milk from out of the fridge, and obviously it's going to do this. And then this will get harder. This has only been sitting here for, that one's actually harder, you can see that. But all this is just, it's just going harder because that's what they do. As soon as you put your lye in here, it starts loosening up and heating up. So you don't have to have, this doesn't have to be at 40 or 50 degrees or the ridiculous things that people are soaping at to make soap. You literally don't have to soap hot. You can, I can't even tell you, but I imagine this is probably less than room temperature because it's only, look, it's 19 here, and I don't think this is 19 degrees. It's actually cool to the touch. So it's cooler than my hands. And you know, well, I have cold hands. No, I have warm hands actually. Cold heart, yeah, that's it, that's the one. But no, I don't know. I tried to make a joke and it didn't fly. So anyway, enough of that waffling. But yes, you do not have to soap hot. There is literally no excuse. I don't even honestly know if you have to with beeswax. Yeah, you do, because your beeswax, it won't. Your soap batter doesn't get. Yeah, no, you do, because your soap batter won't get back hot again enough to melt it. So beeswax has to stay melted. But other than that, like soy wax doesn't need a high melt point, so you don't have to soap super hot with soy wax. There's honestly, I mean, people talk about putting beeswax and how good it feels in soap. Honestly, I've put beeswax in soap before and really don't like it. It makes your soap really grippy. Like, instead of it gliding, you know how soap will glide along your skin, it sort of goes, it's really unpleasant. I don't like beeswax at all. I don't feel like it brings enough to a soap to put up with that. So, but anyway. Okay, so because we're doing the shaper soap, yay, I've actually put this off. All my wholesale soaps are done. except for this one, and I'm feeling really guilty about it, but I also wanted to make sure that I was in the right frame of mind to do this soap justice. And also this will probably be a good video to show you how to use the shapers properly, assuming I can use the shapers properly. So I have my heights set up. It's a bit hard to show you. I should take that one out, and you can see that one. Wow, it's just a bit hard to see. That's how high I want it. So I've put it in there at how high I want it, and I've put my my clips on it already. And then I want this one to be this much higher than that one. There we go. It's very hard to actually show you in there with light in there. Anyway, you get the general gist. So this is how I want them, so I've put shaper clips on that as well. And then for the next one I will have to just basically judge it, because I can't put the shaper clips on again. But this also, and you'll probably be yelling at me through the screen when I get there, for the second time I use this, I want to flip it around so that this is facing away from me. So make sure you remind me when we get to that layer, because I'm going to forget. So facing towards me, not facing towards me, not facing towards me. This is the way we're going. This is the way we're not going to end up going. So I can already tell. Okay, so I'm going to put my lye in here. I'm actually going to turn this off. So I'll go and do that, and then I'll come back, and then we'll get stuck in. All right. I'm actually not entirely sure why I turned the camera off, to be honest. It was only gone for like 4 seconds. Well, maybe a little bit longer, because I'm making sure I'm being very, very precise with this. So I measured out, well, it's pretty easy, because actually my recipe I have on a chart. I have it measured out in halves, thirds, quarters, sixths, eighths, so that if I want to do things like this, I can very quickly do it. So that if you do use shapers and you want to do like more than one layer, that's always a good thing to do, is to measure it out in fractions and have it listed there, so that you know, and you don't have to get, oh Christ, how much lye do I need, and all the rest of it. For me, what I do is I put all my oils, my hard oils and my soft oils together in one container, and the goat's milk. I mix it all up, and then I will measure that out into whatever's, because that's how I've worked it out. But I also go off the measurement as well that is on the scales, rather than like, because I use 1,000 grams of oils, and then goat's milk I just tend to just throw it in. It's not ever like, I'm not particularly precise, because I do a water discount anyway. So yeah. So I always will then tear out the scales, put on an empty container, tear it out, take that off, put that container on that's the same container as the one I just teared out, and measure what's there, and then I'll third it or quarter it or whatever it is. So it's usually pretty much the same, but it's just smarter to do it that way. And lye's pretty simple, because the lye that I use is a 1-to-1 ratio, so it stays the same amount. Like a third of the amount is a third of the amount. It doesn't change. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't make sense. If you don't master batch, it probably won't make sense. Alright, now I'm going to give this a whiz, purely because this can be a bit thick. Well, it's going to have to be thicker because I have to shape it, but also because I'm using activated charcoal, so I want to make sure that that's really mixed up and doesn't have like little dotties in there. And the other thing too is sometimes activated charcoal can actually be a little scratchy. So I don't know if a lot of people know that. Even if you get the really fine stuff, which is the stuff that I use, and I think most soapers use, although a lot of new soapers don't know that there are different grades of activated charcoal, which now you do, because I just told you. If you're a new soaper, there are different grades of activated charcoal, and you should get the finest one you can. It doesn't have to be expensive. I get the activated charcoal from Range. I buy a lot of stuff from Range because I like them. They've always had really good customer service, and they do flat rate shipping, which is good for me because I buy like 15 kilo boxes of palm oil that the poor man had to carry up the stairs yesterday. He says to me, I didn't know a small box could be that heavy. I said, yeah mate, you've just carried 15 kilos of palm oil up the stairs. And then had to come back downstairs, but Curtis came home, so I got him to carry it down. I carried the 5 kilo of coconut oil. Now, you can see, there you go, oh that's a good reflection there. See how it looks like it's lumpy? This is because I am dreadful, and although you can see as they're sliding off, they're popping. That's not ricing because there's no fragrance in here. That is purely bubbles from me mixing. So sometimes I have a hard time telling if a fragrance is rice because I have a tendency to have a mix that looks a little lumpy anyway. It's just because I move my stick blender up and down, and sometimes I'll lift it too high and it'll get air in underneath the whizzy part. This is my technical speak here, and it'll suck air into the mixture. But I also don't care about it. If I cared about it, I'd be more careful. All it does is it doesn't detract from the soap. It makes no difference to the soap. It just, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you get little holes in your soap. But that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not a big deal. Honestly, it's just an aesthetic thing. So again, I'm using white pepper and orange blossom, same as last time, because she wanted the exact same soap. It smells like shit. No, it's actually not bad. I can't really smell much of anything. It's kind of nice. It does have a pretty orange scent to it, but it's definitely more of an orange blossom than an orange. There's no pepper in it at all. I distinctly remember saying that last time. This has no pepper in it. Now I'm mixing and carrying on here purely because look at this. That's solid, and I'm probably not going to do anything with that other than put lye in it. Okay, so I'm going to have to thicken this because it's not thick enough for shaping. Now it's thick enough for shaping. The other thing I'm doing differently this time is I didn't split my mixture up last time, and I also put a shit ton more bubbles in that. Whereas this time, because they don't have lye in them, I can wait as long as I want after this layer is done to pour the next layer, which is exactly why I did what I did. Because I'm doing it properly. This is how you're supposed to use shapers, people. You can have monkey see, monkey do this time, rather than do as I say, not as I do. Which is how it usually goes. This is not how you do it. Because I'm lazy and it's not even lazy, I'm too impatient. Like, I see people make, like Keely, when she does it, God, she has so much patience. Doing those bloody Zodiac soaps that she's doing at the moment, and she's meticulously making those bloody stars and meticulously placing those stars. I'm like, no. I'm sorry. I think it's beautiful, and honestly, I wish I had the patience to do it. I just do not. I have very little patience for most things. Although, I mean, I can sit in front of the computer for hours on end, designing graphics and stuff like that, but no. I just like to come out here, make soap, go upstairs, the end. Okay, so where we started, the soap wasn't high enough. It's also not set up enough. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to smoosh that back down there so it's a little higher, and we are going to leave this for now. It's just not set up enough, and oh my God, I've got the old clips, which these ones have been used a lot and have been left soaking in water, so they're not real crash hot. Yeah, that's definitely not set up enough. What we'll do is I might go, and there's a few other things I can do. Yeah, I think it's going to fall back down again. I'm going to leave it for now, and I'll turn the video off, and then there's a few other things I've got to do down here. So what I'll do is I'll go and do them, and then we'll come back when this is ready to be scraped, and then I will show you. Alrighty, so it's ready. As you can see, I've given it a scrape. So what we're going to do is merely pull this along here. Now what I'm going to do is get my spatula, and I'm going to scoopy scoop, and we are going to reuse this, possibly. I say that, but it might be unlikely as well. The top of this soap, when I made it the first time, I just poured all the leftovers in the top, but because I'm making this properly, it's kind of unlikely that this will be fine to use. I think it will just be too thick, so it will get reused, but it will just be like free samples. It won't be used in this actual soap. I'm not too worried about cleaning up the ends or the sides, honestly. I'm just doing it now because I said that, probably just to spite myself. This is the surefire way to ruin your soap. You're better off just, after your soap is done, to just, whatever the word is called, that now, what's the word called? What's the word called, people? I keep trying to say stick blend, but that's not. Plane your soap. So you just get rid of just those little bits of excess, that's it. On the edges, that's all you need to do. Now I'm just being pedantic here and just trying to just make this as even as possible, just because I can. But honestly, I am super pleased with this right now. So, and it's also set up quite well, so we can move on to the next layer. Okay, now as you can see, this is super thick, right? Now, if you've been around the channel for a while, you've seen me do this before. Now, I'm just very, very carefully mixing my lye in so I don't splash it. No other reason, just so I don't splash lye up my arms and not die, because it won't kill me. And yeah, I mean, it takes a bit to incorporate it, but as you can you see that it's loosening already? Because the second I put that lye in there, it started reacting and started to heat. That's how it works. This is how soap works, people. This is why you need lye. You can't make soap without it. It's because of that chemical reaction. And that chemical reaction causes heat. Not as hot as the upstairs of my house. To get out of there! I've started the fire. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. It was 27 degrees in my house when Curtis came home yesterday. I'd been out all day and I'd tamped it down so it wasn't even glowing. And I come home and opened it up and it all started glowing again, as fire has a want to do. And then yeah, next minute Curtis says, I'm going to have to open a window. I'm like, I don't blame you. So yeah, see this? See how this is now, it's actually liquid and not this? And that's no stick blending, that's just stirring for like 2 minutes or however long it was. Editing Lee may possibly put up a time amount, or maybe not. She's probably slacking because she's a slacker. One day I'll have my own editing crew. No, I won't. The other thing I want to do with this is I want to keep this fairly fluid. And the reason for that is I don't want to disturb that layer. So if we can pour this in while it's still fairly fluid and then just leave it to set up, to shape it, it will be a much better soap. Trust me. It's like I know what I'm talking about. A little smidgy more. I don't know why, because it's just a soaping thing, I think. Just put a tiny little bit more in. It didn't come much lighter. I can see it's a little bit lighter than it was, especially from the scrapings on the sides there. They are slightly darker, but it's a nice colour. I'm really happy with the colour. It won't be bang on because, again, as I said in these other videos of the wholesale ones, I blow out the brightness on my promo pictures. It's just how I like promo pictures. So yes, I'm never going to be able to match a colour from a promo picture. I can go back and watch a video. It's more of a exact colour. Now I'm not going to mix this any further. I'm actually going to pour this in this liquid. So I'm going to do it on the spatula as well. It's probably unnecessary. I would assume that layer has set up quite nicely. I'm not moving the spatula. I'm letting it pour down inside it by itself because it will with it being this liquid, it'll probably level itself mostly. There's definitely more down that end than there is up this end because it's not like perfectly fluid. But I'm very, very happy with myself right now that I'm actually doing the right thing. It's kind of funny, isn't it? It's like I had a house inspection yesterday, so I had a massive cleanup. Just like shit that I've been getting around to. Like as I've unpacked the house, I've just basically built up this pile of cardboard boxes, which are, they're all flattened, but it was just like a massive big pile of cardboard boxes. And instead of doing anything with them, I would just, when the recycling went out, I would take as many as would fit in the bin, put them in the bin. But our recycling only goes once a fortnight here. So, with all the recycling that I generally have, there's never that much room. So I just had a box that was about, I don't know, what, 2-3 foot? Yeah, I guess, of flattened boxes that I just never do anything with. So I cleaned all that up, and I'm enjoying how lovely and clean the house is right now. This has occurred last night. I don't know why I don't do like massive big spring cleans more often, because I enjoy it so much, the result of it. Alright, so that is like super liquidy. So we're going to, we'll leave that and we will come back when that is ready to shape. And then we'll do the next layer. Alright, okie dokie. Round 2, as you can see, I've had a bit of a swoosh. So I'm just going to make sure it's sitting in the right place and begin my swoosh. I'm not even going to bother putting that in the container. I'm just going to put that straight in there. Scrape it off so we don't have a lot on it, and I'm going to just come back in and go along again. You always tend to miss a bit this end, so there is also, you spin it around, make sure you spin your thing around. if it's an even, like if it's symmetrical, it's okay. You don't necessarily have to worry about that. If it's not symmetrical though, you're in trouble. Trust me, I know. Do you want to know how I know? Pretty sure you can guess how I know. Because I'm useless. Just don't think things through sometimes. I'm like, oh, the stupid person. Now, the other thing too, because with my mould, I always end up with 2 really thin pieces on the end. I don't necessarily worry about, like you can see here at the very end where it's trying to get you some light in there, where it's lifted up a little bit. I mean, you can deal with it. It's not a problem to deal with. Have I got that in there the right way? Yes, I have. You can just go all the way to the end and like get as much in there as you can. You can also put this back in this end right at the very edge, and then drag back across, and then that makes it super smooth. But you're always going to get, like you see now, you can see that there's stuff in this end. One of the ends is always going to have a little bit of lift up, I guess is the best word for it. So, but like I said, I have thin pieces on the ends, which I always give away for freebies anyway, so, and the two little end pieces never look perfect, I don't think. So, I'm not worried about those. Alright, so that was pretty good. That didn't take that long, or I was just preoccupied with what I was doing. But no, it really didn't seem to take that long. No, that can go over there. We don't need that anymore. We do need the spatula. Dear, I don't even know why I still have these gloves on, honestly. It's just that they've just got holes in them and whatnot now. Alright. So, third one. We'll go and put some... Oh, we need to... I forgot what I said. Ah, shit. I've literally forgot what I said. And I don't know which end was which anymore. This is now I remember the problem. I couldn't remember which end I'd started with because I'd switched it around. So I now don't know if that bottom edge is this way or this way. So it doesn't matter. I guess it literally does not matter. I'll even use matching shapers. About there maybe. Oh, these ones are so much better. Literally so much better. How many times have I used the word literally today? We should have a new game. Every time Lee says literally, you have to take a shot. Why not make a drinking game off a teetotaler's video? I think that makes perfect sense. Don't you reckon? Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm going to go with that height. Okie dokie. Alright, well, let's go I'm going to go do the lie and I'll be back. Not last layer. Yeah, I'm going to have to make up a little small amount of soap, I think. Which is annoying. I had this divided, originally I was going to divide this into fourths, because it technically has 4 layers, but because the bottom layer was so small, I went, nah, that's not going to work, I'll do it in thirds, and then yeah, I've done it in thirds, and we need a top layer, so I may have to. You do generally, when you're doing shaping of more than one layer, you do generally need more mix. That's sort of one of those hidden things about using shapers that a lot of people don't know is, this is my normal 1,000 kilo, 1,000 kilo, that's a lot of soap. This is my normal 1 kilo of oils recipe, and once I shape this, it's not going to reach the top because we've taken this much mix out, and we'll probably do that again in this as well. So yeah, I may have to make up just like a little 200 grams or something just to chuck in on the top. Be interesting to see how much I've scraped out. I can actually have an empty one. I have an empty one of these. I could weigh it and see. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. Let's put in some fragrance. Scrape all that down. Now, before I mix that too much, I'm actually just going to give this a quick whiz. I'm not overly worried that it's still got some of the other colour on it because it was a bit paler, so it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to make sure that it was all incorporated because, again, I did use whatever that stuff is, activated charcoal in all of these layers, and sometimes it does leave little spotties. And how set up are you? Pretty set up. Again, I'm going to pour on my spatula from just one end like I did before, quite gently, just to make sure I don't ruin it. I've wanted to make this soap since a long time ago. I've always had this idea of these layers of clouds, And I tried cutting it out in cardboard shapers and plastic shapers, and it wasn't until I actually made these 3D printed shapers that I knew that I could do it. So it's just one of those things that I just wanted to do for a really long time. So instead of being a dickhead like last time, this time I'm actually going to do I am doing it properly. Not going to do, I'm being very good. So yeah, as you can see, that's not all the way up to the top of the mould by any stretch of the imagination. We will definitely need to make more soap, which is not a problem. Not a problem at all. Well, it kind of is, because it means I'm going to have to take some soap out of a different recipe. Because I don't want to just make 200 grams of soap, because that's a pain in the ass. It really is. Okay, so one thing I do want to check, and that is to make sure that I have this deep enough. Maybe not. My little cloud, I don't know if you can see the top of the cloud there, is sitting up above this. Now what will happen is the bits that I drag, I could then plop them in front of this where it's sitting up, and it'll be fine. It's really hard to explain in words because apparently I can't word today. So what we'll do is I'll leave this for now, and then I will come back when this is set up enough, and I'll show you in actions rather than words what the hell I'm carrying on about. Okay, so I want to make this video like super lengthy because, you know, why not? Oh god, I touched it. No, I have no gloves on. Yuck. Okay, so you can see I've given it a scrape, and it's not like it's still a little bit loose, but you can see how my big lump of cloud here is not catching. So what you can do, because this is the scrapings from the side down here, you can actually just pop that in there and then squish it in, and you can do this, and it helps. It just helps bring that up. So again, you bring these down here and you pop it along. Get some more from here. Whoops, a daisy. Just like that. And the biggest problem mostly is because there's none right at the very start. So we're going to smoosh that over there like that. There we go, dropped in, beautiful. And then we're just going to drag, and try not to spill that everywhere because it's still very loose. You know what? I'm going to put it back in here for now. Because this is so loose, we can drag it a few times, and it should come up really nice. So we're going to do that. This is a messy process. It really is. Now what I can see happening is there's not quite enough on this side, so let's drop that back down in there, and I'm going to go in here where this end is not higher, but because we're pulling it out, like I said before, you'll always end up with one end that has more stuff than the other. So, although I just stuffed that up, didn't I? Did I stuff it up? I think I did. Or have they moved? Why does that feel like it's... yeah, no, I've stuffed it up. That's what I did. I turned it around. I shouldn't have turned it around. Yep, don't do what I do. Don't do what I do. I stuff it up every time. I'm an idiot. Okay, so what we need is some down on this side now, because I'm an idiot. This is why I don't use shapers. I just don't have the brain capacity Like, seriously, I can invent things, can't make shape of soap. It's just not in me. It's not in me, guys. I'm telling ya, it's just not in me. That's better. That's much neater now. I'm happy with that. They could just go out. Yeah, it's so fucking Jesus. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. It's too funny. It really is. I mean, seriously. And it's not even a matter of laughing because I cry. It's just, I just find it hilarious that I am absolutely ridiculous with these tools. Oh, the dishwasher finished and it didn't leak. So I don't know what happened the first time I used it. The first time after I set it up, it leaked. And I mean, it leaked like bad enough that I thought it was broken leaked. But I think what has happened is I didn't soak the soap dishes to begin with, so they were just like extra soapy. Oh dear. Okay, so again, like I said, the ends are not going to be perfect, but I mean that's I'm pretty happy with the shape of that. That's not okay. Let's just stop. Alrighty, we're back with a whole new recipe. Well, no, with a whole new batch of soap because it's the exact same recipe. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the other soap, but this one I've already put titanium in here, so let's give this a whiz and see if it goes nice and white. Well, it's kind of already nice and white anyway, but let's put some more in just for shits and giggles. Why not? Every time I look out the front window, it freaks me out because my car's not in the right place. I shall explain momentarily. There we go. Now she's a white better. It's very, very white. Alright, so what am I doing? I'm going to just pour all this fragrance in and then pour some in there. Oh, now that's not going to work. Because it needs to be a little bit tall. Oh god, I didn't even consider that. It's going to need to be taller than the mould. I also need to remember which way it is. Guys, you need to remember that that's the way that it is. And we're just going to pour it in like that, where you can't actually see it. Oh, shite. Let's just put the fragrance in here and we'll go from there. Shall we? Let's just do that. I don't think this needs to be stick blended. I don't even know why I have the stick blender in here, to be honest. Oh, it actually loosens trace pretty good, doesn't it? It does. I think it loosens and then it thickens, but I haven't sort of played with it enough while it's still been in the bowl. I've just sort of been chucking it straight in there. So I'm just going to give it a quick whiz just to make sure that's all incorporated. I literally just gave that a couple of pulses just to make sure. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some in now. And then what am I going to do? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I was thinking, yeah, I was actually thinking of doing it above the, I don't know now. Maybe I should just do flat top. The other one had a flat top and I just sort of, I remember what I did with it. Anyway. Oh, this is going to be heavy. Yeah, she's heavy. I'm just going to just pour it just from this end, which you probably can't really, you can't really see me make stupid mistakes. Let me just pour it from here. Or not. Because apparently I now don't know how to do anything. Jesus Christ almighty. Look, I don't care. I'm not doing what I was going to do now. I've changed my mind. Changed my mind. It's just too difficult. And I'm just screwing everything up. And this is just not pouring. Yeah, okie dokie. Why is it doing that? Seriously. Why? Why? Okay, so I need bowls with the pour spout again. God, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Bowls with pour spouts that aren't those stupid hard Betty Crocker ones that I hate. I hate them. Don't tell me to buy them. I hate them. I'll tell you you're a dickhead if you tell me to buy. No, don't, because then you'll all tell me to buy them just to hear me tell you you're a dickhead. Okay, so I got these from Heirloom because I can. Because reasons that I'm not telling you about. So, how about I have the entire rainbow here. I mean, the red's not going to be red, so there's certainly not going to be red in there. So why don't we why don't we use the purple and the red and the blue? Because why not? I never ever use liquid colours, ever. It's just not my thing. They do tend to bleed if you put them in, just making sure that they're clean. They look pretty clean. Well, I mean, apart from, you know. Yeah, they tend to bleed. So most people don't use liquid colours. And I thought, well, you know, I'm just going to get them for reasons. And we're going to use them now as well. So there's that. I don't know how thick this is going to go. Because we're mucking about now. But this already has titanium dioxide in it. So I'm thinking if we just put just a little bit in, we might get some nice pretty pastel colours and we can just chuck them in the mould. Just like, you know, nice little triple drop swirl or something. How's that sound? That sounds pretty good. Assuming this doesn't thicken up too quickly and I stop fart-assing. Oh my god, I do say it. Righto, fine. Okay, so I have made a sticker that says stop fart-assing around. Oh no. How am I supposed to... Oh, no, don't do this to me. Oh, never mind. It's just sticking around there. Oh, holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Well, I don't know about this. These are like deep, deep colours. Wow, look at how the depth of that. That's mental. Let's just have a little look. The last liquid colour I used went grey when I used a purple, so I hold out zero hope for this. And obviously that's going to have to be... Screw it. Oh, that might have been a bit much. Look, I'm just going to pour them in. I don't even care now. Oh my god, I guess this stains benches. Well, $10 is it stains benches now that I've done that. Let's get another spoon and not be stupid again. Let's learn from our lessons, shall we? I'll just do a big spoonful. Oh dear. Oh, look at the mess. Oh my god, look at the mess. I mean, if I end up with a pink bench, it couldn't, you know, I mean, I could say it could be worse. It definitely could be worse. Okay, righto. Let's do the red one first because it hasn't been mixed with a spoon. Okay, well that's an ugly colour. That's an absolutely beautiful colour. And that too is an absolutely beautiful colour. That's just... I mean, it's not awful, but it's not real. It's a bit too coral for me. You know? It doesn't matter. I don't care. This is really pretty. These colour very well. Wow. I've never played with liquid colours very much. It's funny, isn't it? I mean, I've been soaping for a while. You'd think I would have tried everything, but no. I mean, for reds, I only ever used to use the liquid carmine from Aussie Soap Supplies because it does make a beautiful red, but now that I've got that trial by fire micro, I'll never use anything else. Certainly won't use this. Actually, I'm not hating that now. I nearly painted my nails that colour. No, oh, I didn't paint them. I don't paint my nails. Actually, I don't paint them, it's gel. Because if I put nail polish on, within minutes, within a very short amount of time, it's chipped. I'm really, really rough with my fingernails. And I mean, the whole point of having fingernails is not to look pretty, it's so that I don't chew them and make them infected. That is the number one reason why I get my fingernails done. So I look at it as a therapeutic reason, because I don't know how many times I have had to take antibiotics because I have chewed my nails until they were infected, so it's not a good thing. What are we going to do with this? You know what, let's take those spoons back out of there. Let's do something cray-cray here. I don't think this is going to work. I think it's going to look like shit, to be honest. You see where I'm going? Do you see what I'm cooking, God? That is a reference to Lucifer, for those of you that do not know. Which I haven't finished yet. I'm trying to binge it, but I just don't have time to binge at the moment. I do need to take the day off. I may take the day off tomorrow. But I do have a lot to do. I think this is just going to end up looking quite muddy. I don't think this is going to be very nice, honestly. But there's not very much we can do with that. I've put blue on top of that soap over there. There is a little blue, doesn't matter because I'm going to put black glitter on top of it anyway. Right, so we're just going to do that and have the very, very minimal mixing here. And I didn't use that one, no need for extra washing up. Excellent. And I don't really care that there's still white left in there. I'll probably scrape that out into it anyway. Excuse me. And now I'm simply just going to pour this. I'm going to actually move it as I'm pouring it. A lot of times in the pot swirl I like to just pour from one end, but this it's getting a little thick, so I've scraped some of the white that was on the edges into that as well, so that hopefully will show up. That will be another interesting little factor. Now of course this is not a full soap because we used it in the top of the other soap, so I will probably give this away as a freebie. I much prefer the this shape now that I'm not now that I'm just literally just can't afford to be buying craft boxes because they're stupidly priced. I mean, I could make my own. I have SVG files and I have a Silhouette Cameo. And I now have the Design Edition Plus, because I just bought that today, which was like $30, it wasn't very expensive. Just don't need the business license yet. If the stationery takes off, and yeah, there you go. Oh no, it might come off. Oh wow, can you see? Oh, how nice is that? I love purple and blue together. So nice. Now yeah, if the stationery ever takes off and I'm making heaps of stickers and I have to get a second machine, then I'll up it to the business license. But for now, I mean, I've had the designer edition since I've had the machine. Like before, when I had the Cameo 2. So I've had a cutting machine for a really long time. I didn't get a 3. I went straight from the 2. Well, not straight. When I upgraded, I went from 2 to 4. because I couldn't justify getting the 3. It didn't seem to do much more. Honestly, I don't think the 4 does much more than the 2 either, to be honest. That's really pretty. Let's get some glitter on that. Actually, let's poof some blue on it for starters, because why not? Because it's blue and poofy. Good God. Okay, there's no green in that, so let's not poof green on it. We do have, no, that's yellow. Let's not do yellow. Let's just do, actually, you know what? I absolutely adore these. I remember where I got them from now. These came from iLux. They are glorious. Have a go at them. They look like mermaid skin. They're so pretty. They're diamonds, diamond shape. Let's do that. That is glorious. Love it. Hopefully the inside doesn't look like a pile of poo. That would be nice. A pile of poo would not be nice. And then let's do just some Eco Hollow, because, you know, we're holosexuals up in this. Biatch. Done. And then that's it. Oh, I think that turned out well. We're going to do the top of that other one in a second as well. There you go. How pretty is that? Seriously. I can come up closer. There you go. Look at that. How lovely is that? That's still fairly loose. This is actually a really good fragrance to work with, considering, I mean, look at that. Considering how long I've been fart-assing around. I mean, it's like 17 minutes now. So that's pretty good. Alright. So this one, what I did last time was I simply got a spoon and just did this with it. Just tapped the back of the spoon just so it sort of like embosses the top. Just lifts it up. Just to give it some interest, just some texture. Because what we're going to do is we're going to put black glitter on this. I have this beautiful glitter from my Micro Obsession. I'm not sure if Heirloom is carrying it yet. I imagine they would. There's also, you can go on Facebook, and I think on both Heirloom and my Micro Obsession business pages, you can request what you would like to see back in stock. So do that. If there's anything that they don't have yet, I'm sure that they will get for you. I thought that was a bit of blue, but oh, it was just solid. Okay, weird. Must have just gone solid because it was sitting on the soap. Huh. Interesting. Alright, so I'm going to go and get the glitter. Honestly, I actually have 2. I don't think we'll use this one because I have one called Midnight, which is very black. I don't know if it will focus enough for you to see yet. So it's very black, but it's also got like kind of a purple tinge to it, like a plummy purple. Whereas this Cosmic glitter never ever shows up perfect on the camera. It's actually like almost a hollow. It is so pretty. It's got reds and purples and greens, and it is absolutely glorious. I love it. It's literally one of my favourite glitters, and I very rarely use it. But I think this is going to look really nice because the inside of the skin, okay, because the inside of the soap is so dark, and then this white is really like stark on top. Not Ned Stark though, because you know we don't want it to be Ned Stark. Yes. Anyway, I just tangented it. I just started thinking about Jon Snow then. Yeah, I think having the white with a black top on it is going to look really pretty. I am actually trying on purpose to make this look like lines. So I'm trying to make it sort of look like it's windblown. I don't know if anyone else will ever get that reference but me. To it being windblown, like it's not a reference to a movie or anything. And besides, it's not going to be in low form for very long anyway. But that was sort of, I sort of feel like it looks like the wind has blown stuff across it. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Maybe I should just fill it in and stop being a twit. No, I'll do that. Thanks, guys. Oh dear. The things that are going on in my own head, I've just blamed you for. I'll have you know. I don't know what Boogly is doing up there. It's not Kurt because he's not coming home. He had community service today, and he said he was going to Grafton after that to visit his new woman, who doesn't have bleached blonde hair. The only thing. I was reading him for his very distinct taste in women, and I got everything right except for the fact that she doesn't have bleached blonde hair. So that's fine. There's nothing wrong with having taste in people. Everybody likes particular things. Like me, give me a handsome guy with long, well, doesn't handsome, I guess, is relative, but I like long hair and I like goatees. I also like Asian guys, so goatees really don't Asians don't tend to grow them, mostly because they can't. They have a lot, their facial hair is quite different than ours, Western facial hair. Westerners tend to be able to grow a lot more facial hair. So, but it's really cute when Tomo, who is Tomohisa Yamashita, he's my favourite Japanese person on the planet. He's posted pictures a few times when he's had some little wispy bits of hair, and it's so cute. And I shouldn't be saying anything's cute about a man who's that age, like he's in his 30s. But it's so cute because it's so rare to see like Japanese and Korean idols or actors even that have any sort of facial hair. So it's really cool. It's very cute. So cute. Tanya's very cute, so there you go. I think just for good measure we need to just put a little bit of hollow on it, because we all need a good bit of hollow in our life, and they can just, that's the lightning. Listen, if I had some lightning sprinkles, I would have put them on it, but I don't have any at the moment. So there you go. That's it, and that's pretty good. It's set up really nicely. Oh, I have a stingy on my finger. I'd have chewed. If I go too long with it before getting infills, I tend to chew, and you can actually see the soap in here. That's just starting to sting now. Oh, and it's grey soap, so it's been there for a minute. That's like my fingernails. Oh, they're pretty. They match. Oh, is that on the screen or is that? Actually, I think that's on the. It's hard to tell. Looks like it might be on the lens actually. Oh no! Oh, sorry. Sorry. There, you just focus. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Alright guys, I'm going to shut up now because this was a super long video. We'll come back and we'll cut those tomorrow and see what we got. Alright, hopefully we've got two really lovely soaps. Alright, bye. Hello. Well, it's kind of slightly possible that I forgot I made this soap, and it's been sitting down here for like 2 days. Oh, 3 days. Might be 3 days. Which is ridiculous because I'm really excited about this, and yeah, and I completely forgot about it. You can see how hard it is. Let's see. Let's see. Yes! Oh my god! Oh, I'm so happy! Look at it. This is how it was supposed to look the first friggin' time. If I'd done it correctly the first time, this is what it would have looked like. It's still a little dodgy. I don't know how it's a little dodgy. Oh, because that's an end piece. That's alright. The end pieces always sometimes are a little dodgy, so. But look at that. Look at that's exactly how I always pictured this soap in my mind. And yes, these are not supposed to be the same. This lump is supposed to be over there, but whoop, this lump is supposed to be on the other side, but because I moved it around, I couldn't remember. So if you're going to do that, and also you can see this, I'm pretty sure it's this fragrance that does it. It gets this really cool kind of like line on the edges. I don't know. Some fragrances do it. I think it's a heat thing. But yeah, if you're going to do like use the same shaper twice, but you want to use it in the opposite, mark the end of your loaf, or mark the end of your mold that you started with, so you will remember when you come back and not make the same mistake as me. Learn from my mistakes, people. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. So this turned out way better than the first one because I did it properly. It just goes to show, if you do things properly, they turn out much better. So do things as I say, not as I do. I'm really happy with that. Really happy with that. And it's going to need, as you can see on the sides, because I didn't scrape down the sides, it's a little messy. So I will probably give this a plane. Won't take much. I'll only have to just run it over the plane at one time, and that'll clean it up all nice. So, but I could not be happier with this. So the colours are just right. I don't think that they're quite the same. They're not quite the same. I think this one's a little darker than the original one, and this had the mix. But the clouds are more defined, there's better spacing between them, and I quite like the white. So hopefully she'll be happy with them too. I don't think she will hate it. And then, like I said, I mean, if any of these soaps that I have made for my wholesale customer, if she doesn't like them, I am more than happy to go back and remake them. Then that's on me, you know. I can't, although, yeah, I mean, in saying that again, I mean, I can't completely remake a soap exactly the same. That's not the way soap making works unless it's a plain coloured soap. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, I did change the design from what this originally was, so I can go back and redo it the way it was. But honestly, I prefer this. I think this is much nicer. I think it's more refined than with all the scribbly grey on the top. The little dodgy one on the top there. End pieces, mate. They're always a crack up. So yeah, I think this came out really, really well. I'm so happy with it. So happy with it. It's got a bit of a gel ring, but again, that's one of those things you can't really, I mean, you can make it gel all the way, but that involves insulating and carrying on, and I don't do that. And I don't guarantee any of those sorts of things. Like, I mean, I'm happy to do wholesale, but I'm not. But I wholesale my soaps, not someone else's idea of soaps. Does that make any sense? Like, you're basically getting what you see. What you get is what you see with me. I was just having this discussion with, I think, Bree, and I was saying, you know, the reason why Keely has so many more subscribers than me, and why her channel has grown so much more than mine, is because of the differences in who we are. I mean, most people, as we now know, stay with me because of my commentary, and my commentary annoys a lot of people, so I don't get a lot of subscribers for that reason. Whereas Keely's channel is very calm and collected, and she's not on there whinging about her shitty family, and you know, so more people want to watch what she does. And like, not sort of not comparing us really, it's just she's another soap maker that I know, and that's also fine. Like, you know, it is the way it is. I'm not going to change my channel and who I am for views. and subscribers and whatever, because if I was trying to make money out of this, I would do this very, very differently. This does have this big ass sprinkle on the top, so well, we'll just go for it. Who cares? Who cares? Now this is going to be a free soap, possibly. Well, it'll depend on what it looks like on the inside. Actually, wow. Yeah, we've straight away. We've got. You can see there's. Can you see the big? Let's bring it in. See the big C down here. There's some fancy work for you. Okay, so I am going to have these as freebies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. I'm going to lift this up and give it a clean off in case there's any big chunks of stuff stuck on there. And then I'm going to place this back on so that these cut in half again. It's too heavy to send an entire bar of soap to someone. Actually, we could do that and we'll get one out of that as well. It's too heavy to send a full bar of soap overseas. Sometimes it'll just put the postage over too much. But when they're thinner like this, it's such a cute soap actually, I really like it. Yeah, when they're thinner like this, they're a lot lighter, and I'm more willing to just wear that tiny little bit of extra cost just to include these. I quite like this. It just, I mean, it was, I never remember what I did because it was like 2 days ago. It's cute though. I do like the colours. What did I use? Did we use liquid colours in this? We did, didn't we? We did, didn't we? Did we? I feel like we did. Oh, editing Lee, you're so lucky. You get to see what I did. So I literally do not remember. I'm just taking out like 3 at a time here so you can see it. It's so cute. I really like the colours. The colours are very like bubblegum colours. It's very cute. I like it. Do that one and that one. I'll get in here and get this done because this is not why I came downstairs, because I'd actually forgotten about these. I can't believe I forgot about this. That's hilarious, honestly. No, that's going to go like that. Like that. So we'll take that one so you can look at the next one. Ooh, almost got a big chunk of pink in it. So that one's got a big chunk of pink in it. Look at that, that's really nice. That's the end piece. And one whole block. No, that's stupid. That won't do anything. I put it in the middle where nothing would have happened. It would have just, the wires would have gone either side. So, and there you go. That's it. That's really pretty. Oh, like that. That's almost like tiger stripey, isn't it? On the top here. I honestly, it's terrible, but I honestly cannot remember how I made that soap. I feel like I used liquid colours. I'm pretty sure I said, screw it, it's just a bonus soap anyway, let's try liquid colours. I'm pretty sure that's what I said, but I'm not entirely sure, so, you know. I have terrible memory issues, and people think I'm just like exaggerating or, you know, joking. I'm not. This is like Bree wants me to do some delivery work for it, and I literally refuse every time she says come and work for me, because the idea of having to remember where to deliver papers as I'm driving down a street stresses me out, like gives me anxiety just thinking about it. So, and she's, oh, you'll get used to it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I won't. I soap for a living and I still have my recipe written down. And I've been doing this for like 478 years now. So, no. All right, my friends, I will see you. I don't know what for. I don't know whether I'll be doing a lot of soap making in the future. Oh, no, that's a lie. I will be, because I have all these. I have a whole bunch of fragrances to try, and I'm going to try all of those. But after that, don't know. The future is going to be interesting, so you'll have to keep watching and see what's going on, because things are going to change. That's all I can tell you. Well, I mean, I can tell you everything, but I'm not going to, because spoilers. Bye, sweeties.